Bill Maher has informed us, both on Twitter and again last night, that comic books are for kids and that fans of them are basically stunted individuals who are unable to accept adulthood. So let's talk about fans. Fans love to argue. They are particularly big on arguing who their heroes can defeat, and periodically they gather in large crowds, sometimes numbering over 50,000. They pay ridiculous entry fees to get in, and many of them dress up like their favorites. In the places where they gather, they cheer on their respective faves, chant together, eat, and hang together. They buy a ton of merchandise, dropping hundreds of dollars at a time. And if they're lucky, they get autographs and go home happy. Hell, on rare occasions, they even attend parades dedicated to their heroes. And that's just Mets fans. It's also Yankees fans, and Phillies fans, and Dodgers fans, and Jets and Giants fans, and Knicks fans, and so on throughout the country. Hell, Bill Maher even profits off it, since he bought a minority share of the Mets in 2012. And all these games, they involve balls. Isn't that interesting? Large ones, small ones, they get bounced or hit or thrown. Balls which are, as you know, one of the favorite toys of babies. Yet, interestingly, no one, not even the profiting Bill Maher, ever accuses sports fans of being juvenile, of being overgrown children. Get a whole bar riled up about Yankees versus Red Sox, and no one is going to say, my God, grow the hell up. That's because, as Neil Gaiman pointed out, if you have stories told by words alone, that's books in the realm of adults. Have pictures by themselves, that's art, and also for adults. But the moment you combine words and pictures, assholes believe that makes it entertainment purely for children. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. Comic books aren't juvenilia. Comic books are modern myths. The definition of a myth is something that is defined within its own essence. If you ask someone, who is Gomez Addams, they will reply, he is a character created by cartoonist Charles Addams. If you say, who is Superman, people will likely respond, he's a superhero, the last son of Krypton, with the secret identity of Clark Kent. In the same way that if you ask who Hercules is, you'll be told he is a half-god, born of Zeus, having an affair with a mortal. You don't put it in context of its creation, you define it as itself. People who find Spider-Man fascinating are just as valid and adult in their interests as someone who studies Arthurian legend. The fact that it's happening in modern time and we know who the creators are doesn't make it any less mythic. Nor is the multi-billion-dollar success of their movies proof of their crossover appeal, according to Maher. They're all the same, he declares, asserting that all comic book movies are about superheroes fighting over glowy things, like athletes fighting over a ball, remember? The short answer is, yeah, right, Black Panther is just like Wonder Woman, neither of which involve anything glowing. The longer answer is, yeah, right, superhero movies fighting over glowy things is sure an accurate description of Men in Black, or Road to Perdition, or Kingsman, or V for Vendetta, or From Hell, or 300, Sin City, American Splendor, Atomic Blonde, Ghost World, Dread, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and on and on. But Maher further asserts, comics aren't literature. Well, let's figure that out. The dictionary definition of literature is written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. So what's lasting merit? It seems reasonable to assume that it's obvious, something that lasts, that transcends generations. So since Action Comics #1, which was produced over 80 years ago, still has resonance, that would seem to satisfy the definition, as does Spider-Man, who was created 55 years ago. But perhaps it's deeper than that. Perhaps to be literature, it must be critically acclaimed, like Watchmen was when it won the Hugo, like Sandman when it won the Bram Stoker Award, like Mouse when it won the Pulitzer. How many Pulitzers do you have on your shelf, Bill? I'm not pissed off with Maher because he went off on a rant about fans. God knows I've done that myself. I'm pissed off because he went off on a rant that was factually wrong, demonstrably inaccurate, and incredibly unfair. His words come from ignorance, and I wish to God he would do something, anything, to educate himself.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Well, the man is ignored, accident seems to want to him. Life is a great big bang up, whenever there's a hang up, you'll find a spider